My name is Andrea. I'm a channel between two worlds. For years, I have seen how fear can affect people. The absence of light, their perception and interpretation. Ghosts, poltergeists, demonic entities. What is real? My name is Andrea. It's time to push the limits. In this episode, we'll be looking into the spooky claims of an alleged haunting in a disused ward at Callan Psychiatric Hospital. Situated within the Sydney metropolitan area, this ward and many others like it contain patients suffering from depression to the mentally insane. Originally known as the Callan Park Hospital for the Insane, was first built in 1885 to house patients from the overcrowded Gladesville Asylum at Bedlam Point. Today, silent shadows across empty rooms and corridors is a stark reminder of those unfortunate to live and die here. Today we are here at Callan Park Mental Asylum, and we've got with us Tony Jinks and Bill Tabone. So Tony, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here?
Well, Andrea, I'm a university-based researcher in psychology, and I'm particularly interested in paranormal belief and experience and the practices of mediums. So being in a location such as this tonight is a real privilege for me because it acts as my laboratory.
Bill, you're the director of the Australian Paranormal Society, and you've travelled up to Sydney from Melbourne.
That's correct, yes, to attend the investigation here with Whisper and Validated Moonlight Media, and I'm very excited about being here.
Have you heard of this location before?
I've heard a little bit about it, not a great deal. Yeah, very interesting place, and we're really looking forward to getting out and doing some work. Very excited to catch some offenders.
Tony, I understand you have some questions to the investigators tonight?
I certainly do. I have 5 questions. I'm interested to know how Whisper works and the composition of the team, and I shall be asking those questions to each member.
Tony, how did you come up with your list of questions?
Well, Andrea, when you come to a location such as this and there's a team working on it, and you see, you have a night where there's experiences potentially occurring, and it's all very fascinating, but what you often don't see is the amount of effort that's behind the scenes. Who the people are, what their particular skill sets are, why they're there, what they expect to happen to them, and to me that's as much an interesting story as whatever might happen in a location such as this during the night.
Hi Nikki.
Hello Miss Andrea, how are you?
Good. What are you up to?
I just wanted to find a quiet spot just to do a little bit of research on the facility that we're at, because this is a new area that we haven't really explored previously, so I just thought I'd just sit in an unventilated room.
Well, I just had the one question for you, Nikki. I'm interested to know what has been your most compelling experience.
Just sitting here quietly reminded me of an experiment we did a few years ago, where we actually just sat and let the facility we were in tell its story. To hear what then came out was quite remarkable, and fighting the urge to run off and see if it was another team member or if it was the wind or anything like that, because we had it in quite a controlled area. We knew it wasn't going to be anybody else. We were well aware that what we were experiencing and what we were hearing was certainly something otherworldly.
Just wondering, Beth, why do you do what you do?
It's the curiosity and why some people experience phenomena, some people don't, why this phenomena actually happens when the simple rules of physics, say for instance, are used to explain it and can't at that particular time. Why some locations tend to have activity and some don't. Could be newer buildings, could be quite active, and older buildings can be, excuse the pun, dead. So yeah, it's the curiosity. It's wondering, why does this stuff happen? Why do people experience it?
And have you had satisfaction at all in what you do?
Yeah, constantly being satisfied in the sense of each time I investigate, I learn something new.
Richie,
Yes.
coming from a Maori background, what are some of the strengths that you bring to the team?
Coming from a Māori background, I've been aware of the spiritual side of our culture as well as other cultures as well. I've been surrounded by so-called death, but just aware of people's passing and their movement on to the afterlife.
And from the other perspective, are there any difficulties that you experience in a location like this, practicing what you do?
Practicing what I'm doing in New Zealand, and within our culture, it's more or less frowned upon. We let the dead lie, we respect them and we pay homage to them, but as for prying into their afterlife and going in that direction, it's something that you either need to be selected for and trained by the elders, which are very few and far between these days.
Do you have support from other team members?
Yes, one of the founders, Craig Pell, he's also of Māori descent as well, so we can feed off each other, bounce back, we can reassure each other, and there are two of us always stronger in the team, so he understands how the Māori culture works, as I do myself, and we understand, our limits and what we can and can't do, but we always seem to push them. But, but that's what we're here for, the search.
Craig, I have a question for you. If you experience something unusual happening at this location tonight, how should you react?
How should you react and how you do react are two different things, Tony. I'm obviously hoping that we do come across something strange tonight. That's part of my research, it's part of what I do. You watch shows and you watch the paranormal shows and you see things happen, you hear things happen. And you see a reaction from people, and the reaction is they either get extremely frightened and run away, which kind of defeats the purpose of why we're here in the first place. The other reaction you get is just sheer excitement. I can understand that because I know what goes into that work behind the scenes before that happens. If something happens tonight, we just go harder, Tony. We're going to dig deeper and we're going to find the true cause of it, because that ultimately is why we're here.
Hi, Bill.
How you going, Tony? All right?
Good. Just a question for you. To have the best chance of success tonight, what kind of people should comprise the investigative team?
Personally, we have a balance of scepticism and people that are quite sceptic, people that are more believers. In that sense, that balances with the respect for each other as well. Also, we balance the team with people that are more technical, as well as the esoteric, the mediums, the sensitives, etc. So that we work with each other. If the mediums pick something up, then we can hopefully catch it with our equipment, and then double check that with research. And the more points of proof we can get for an event, the more truth we can put forward, hopefully.
Do you find that different combinations of people within your team produce different results?
Yes, certainly. We might, similar with, I know Whisper do the same sort of thing, we might use an all-female or an all-male team. You might have age differences, so you might have older people, younger people. There's any number of combinations, and yes, so that's true, yes. The way a group's formed can create a different energy, which will get more reactions.
Within the suburbs of Sydney, there is an old psychiatric ward that holds many untold stories. As we conclude our interviews with the members of West Sydney Paranormal Research and the Australian Paranormal Society, our 4 new challenges were anticipating the uncertainties of the night.
Actually, look at the moon. You're nervous.
Thank God I don't have a heart rate monitor on.
You're not even inside the building.
I'd be setting it off.
Hi, my name's Darren. This is my partner Kira. And yeah, we're here for Callan Park in New South Wales for a challenge. Very interesting to see what's actually going to be happening and what's in store for us. So yeah.
What we see, what we hear. Bit freaky. We'll see how I go.
Someone's already a bit spooked.
Hi, I'm Ash. I'm hoping to see some ghosts tonight and experience some cool stuff.
Yeah, hi, I'm Vincent. The same. I'm here to experience more paranormal activity. I've already had a lot of experience with it and I'd love to see more tonight.
I can't see a thing. I would like to welcome our 2 challengers, Darren and Kira.
Hi.
I've got Jera with me here from Whisper,
Yeah.
because there is a technical component to the challenge that you will be presented with, and I wanted him to explain that to you.
As a crew, we investigate places, and we actually have a monitor set up with cameras set around the entire complex. You're going to come across malfunctions, batteries dying, cameras moving possibly. My role, part of that, is to watch these screens and to go and check if anything like that happens. I'm heading that way. I've got to run into the dark and see if it's normal or paranormal.
So we set you up with a station with a monitor. The monitor is connected to a video camera that is directed into one of the spaces. So what we want you to do is monitor basically the feed that comes in from the camera, and when something happens, one of you will need to stay with the monitor and the other one will need to go and check it out.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who do you guys think is going to be the one to check out the camera?
I guess that will have to be me.
I'll sit and stay.
Okay, I'm going to take you to your monitoring station now. Have you guys ever done anything like this before?
Oh, just some ghost tours like Port Arthur, so.
No, I certainly haven't. It's my first time. I've been watching a little bit about the show previously, so I'm very interested to see what it's all about.
Is it facing down to the bathroom?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, but it almost looks like the door's closed or something.
This is going to be the longest 20 minutes of my life.
Mm-hmm.
My stomach's in knots, I can't watch this.
It's a great movie though. Ooh.
Are you sure you don't have to go and look at that?
No, I don't know if the camera goes out this way. You're right.
No. I told you.
Same noise now.
Far out. You're gonna have to go for a walk now.
Yep. You right?
Yep. So over the light.
Right,
Over the light. Hello?
I'll be back.
Now I'm okay.
Cables. Anyone here? There's cables.
Did you find the camera yet?
Yeah, right, there is no camera.
There has to be a camera. We were watching it.
Yeah, I found the camera.
Okay.
Don't know what I'm supposed to do with it, but oh right, the leads are unplugged.
Okay, just hurry up.
So where's this plug into?
Susan to come back.
Yeah, copy that.
Before we interviewed Darren and Kira about their experiences, our other two challengers, Vince and Ash, were ready to take their post at the monitor. We are here tonight with our second pair of challengers, Ash and Vince, and we've just explained to them what their challenge is going to be. We're just about to embark and lead them to their room, so let's get going. Some of the other crew have reported audible phenomena down this end of the corridor. Things like humming, like a lady's voice, and even what else? What else have they recorded?
Yeah, we've heard humming. We've heard all sorts of strange noises coming down here, and I think even the place where the camera is where a lot of visual activity is actually being observed as well. So,
Well, let's hope we see more of it.
Yeah.
Oh look.
Oh no! Oh my god!
That was cool.
It was. That was awesome.
Look, if there's somebody there, can you knock twice for us?
Can you give us a sign that you're there?
Oh wow! Did you see that? There was
That
someone,
was magnificent.
someone walking up the. That was somebody walking up the hallway.
It looked like, you know what it looked like? A nurse.
It did. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit
Cold. Do you have family here? Thank you. You know you're there now.
What was that?
Thank you.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Someone just said something.
At an old disused psychiatric ward, 4 challengers were placed into a chilling situation where a surveillance monitor was displaying anomalous activities in an isolated region of the building. So guys, can you describe to us the experiences that you've had during your time?
It was quite defined, but it was the outline of a nurse that was walking toward the camera down the hallway, and it was quite a casual walk, and she was just as if she was doing her rounds and just checking in each of the doorways on the way through.
Then there were a few more bangs, and then we seen a guy walk from one wall to the other. Then the camera just shut off completely. When the camera went off right behind us, we heard sort of like a mumble.
A mumble and a bit of a whisper.
So you guys have had some audible and some visual experiences, but not just through the monitoring, but also within the space where you were in. So I'm going to hand it over to Craig now for the reveal.
I'm basically here to tell you that what you saw on the screen wasn't real. What you saw was already pre-made by Attila using different software called After Effects. The whole point of that being is that as investigators, we cannot trust everything that we see. We get videos sent to us every day, and you've seen how easy it is to manipulate video. So what we're trying to teach everyone is we really need to investigate what we're actually looking at on that footage.
So even though the video was set up, I want to emphasise it really strongly that you both had your personal experiences, okay? So that was just a set,
Yes.
right? to provide us with an opportunity to educate the public. But at the same time, I'm so glad that you got to have your own connection, your own personal experience. Kira and Darren have completed their challenge, so now we're going to ask them what they did and how they feel about it.
I know at one point I was trying to describe what the noises were to Kira, just to try and relax her a little bit, even though I didn't know what they were. So
what did you make up?
Well, there was, it sounded like a board, so I went, oh, it sounds like a piece of timber just squashing something. And then there was the trees outside scraping the windows, and she's like, there's no trees up this high, and I'm like, sounded good. But I was trying to, as much as possible to calm her. So
by the sound of it, you kind of worked together. You were trying to keep her calm. So what made you leave your post in the first place?
We're watching the monitor, and there was a little bit of interference, and then the camera just died, just a little bit of crackling, and then switched off. So.
Well, the footage was something that Attila very cleverly put together himself.
I sort of had a hunch about something like that, because I'm like, that didn't really look like the actual film, like the monitor we were watching. When I opened the door, I'm like, okay, right here.
But you weren't onto it until you actually went to investigate it, right?
Until I actually seen the door, opened the door and went, there's the camera. Okay, that was unusual. Didn't look like that on the monitor.
We placed some very clever effects on that footage, including the sound. Yeah. And we wanted to see whether you would really go for it, whether you would go and investigate it. Because even if you had your doubts, you had to go into a dark room and...
A little bit overwhelming. Like, I thought, oh yeah, I'm all right, I'll walk in there. But when there's pitch black, you've got night vision camera, and it's pitch black. These
are situations that we actually come across ourselves as investigators when someone does the monitoring. Look, guys, really well done. Excellent job. Thank you for coming to play.
Thanks for the invite. It was certainly an experience I loved. Yeah. Not sure about Kira, but certainly intimidating.
We hope you stay for the investigation part after the challenge is done, because we've got some really good stuff to come after this as well. And now, the investigation.
You want to start rolling with the voice recording?
Turn both on, suppose.
Yeah, turn on both on. So basically, we've come down this end of the building because throughout the night people have reported hearing strange sounds coming from in this particular area. We've heard mumbling and talking, and someone's even reported hearing a singing or a humming sound. So it'd just be interesting to see if we can pick anything up.
All right, I'm speaking to any spirit people that might be present with us, and ask you to come forward, and if you can, you see the red lights we have here on the voice recorders. If you go near them and give the energy, and hopefully provide us with your name. So the question is, what is your name, please? Were you a patient of this institution? If so, what year did you come into this institution? If you're a patient, how were you treated?
Yeah, let's have a quick listen to it, mate. See if we can walk in.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
Or is it the wind?
There was something. There was one. Did you hear that? The birds? Yeah. Yeah.
Was that on me?
Yeah, that?
Well, I think you could summarise tonight as being a night of EVP. There was some interesting effects, which again might be anomalous. They'll have to be investigated further, but from the point of view of a successful night, I think it's been an auditory night rather than a visual night.
When he walked in open-minded and expecting very little at all, and then after doing just a little bit of further research with it, Attila and the boys and all that, and coming back out of the corridor, and we had a sort of a heavy breath.
Yeah, it was interesting, the one breath that we all heard, and it was kind of in between the group. Yeah, that was a bit freaky. I'm glad to be going home now, that's for sure. I don't think I'll sleep on.
Experience was excellent, like it's opened up my eyes to a lot of things, felt things that I've never felt before, and one in a lifetime opportunity.
The experience here was absolutely fantastic. We're building unity between groups, and it's and these guys are my brothers and sisters in the paranormal world. So, love it.
For me, again, it was another really good learning experience. Being able to watch the challengers go through their challenge and going through that whole psychological, the battles that they had to go, within their own heads. It's quite amazing. So every time I come out and I do one of these shoots, it's I'm learning more and more, which is really, really good.
Although the activity at Callan Park was not as buoyant as some of the other locations we've been to, the audible phenomena has certainly raised suspicions that we were not alone.
Ask us a question.